it's Malika, the co-founder of Locals Insight. Today, I'm back with another episode of the Local Rundown. It's our series where we've been interviewing locals from all around the world to get you the best tips and tricks for when you travel. Today, we're visiting Mexico City. We have a walking tour guide named Daniel who's going to tell us everything about the city that he grew up in. So, without further ado, here's Daniel. I'm so excited that you're on with us today. I guess just kind of starting off with the basics, what's your favorite part about Mexico City? I know it's hard because you're local and you grew up there, but what are some of your favorites?
Yeah, as you said, it's a tough question. Mexico City is a really big city. I would say my favorite part of Mexico City is the historic center. As you may know, the city has a lot of culture, a lot of history, a really interesting one. The historical center or the historic center of Mexico City has a little bit of all, like a lot of these tiny bits of all the history of the country. We have like this area with pre-Hispanic remains or ruins of the pyramids of the Aztec Empire. Also, we have like this colonial buildings which are really old, and we also have like this modern buildings in some other parts, which is like a very interesting mixture of architecture mainly. It's really nice.
No, that's cool. So what is it like growing up in Mexico City? Like, I know it's probably different like as an adult versus a kid, but what is it like to be there as a kid?
So specifically, I didn't grow up in that part in the historic center. I grew up a little bit more outside in the city, but like pretty much all my life, I've been just coming and going to this area, specifically historic center, because my family and I have always loved it. I mean, it has like a lot of museums. It has a lot of activities that you can do there. So yeah, but like growing around all of this culture, all of these really special places, it's really nice. I think at the beginning, maybe you cannot appreciate it because it's something that you have like pretty much kind of every day. But now that I've had the chance to travel a little bit more and know some other places, I kind of appreciate like how special it is. Like not just the place itself, but the traditions of the people and the culture of the people and how welcoming they are. People in general, I would say it's like really nice, really welcoming. So yeah, it's something that you appreciate once you been outside. Well, personally for me, it's like this: like you go out a little bit and you appreciate what you have, like back home, like where you grew up. Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. I guess kind of like more about the people and the culture, kind of like you were talking about. Like, what is it like in Mexico City? What's the culture like? What are the people like? What's all that about?
I would say it's it's a big mix. It's multicultural, yes, but I think it's quite interesting, like how this well, Mexico and Mexico's population is born mainly of a big mix, of the this indigenous roots mixed with the Spaniards when they came and colonized. So we're basically product of that mix that has been going on through years. A new breed of people are born well when this mixed. So it's really interesting. It's really nice. It has like a lot of traditions. People in general, as I said, are in general like really welcoming, really warm. And yeah, I would say like with tourists specifically, people is always like really welcoming.
Yeah, I totally understand. That's definitely what we experienced when we were there. Everyone was so kind, and it was a bustling culture, but it was like super fun. And actually, it kind of brings about how we met. So, fun fact for everyone who's watching, our friend signed us up for a walking tour when we went on this group trip to Mexico City, and that's how we met Danielle. He was our walking tour guide. So, Danielle, I'd just love to ask you, like, what inspired you to become a walking tour guide?
I was looking for a job at the moment, and I never expected to become a tour guide. I the opportunity just popped up, and it matched like everything that I was looking for at the moment. And of course, I mean, I always really liked Mexico's history in general. But of course, I had to read a lot more about the history itself. I mean, I already knew a few stuff, but I had to get much more involved, and that's what I did. And it was really nice. It was like a whole experience, like reading all about this history and culture and finding out how fascinating it is. And well, that's how it happened. And I must say that becoming a tour guide was like one of the best decisions that I've made in my life. It was really rewarding, like being able to show my country, my city, and my culture with its traditions to people from all over the world. It also made me appreciate how special it is.
That's really sweet, especially considering that, I mean, I think we felt that in our experience, you know, when you gave us the tour and everything, we were so in love with the city.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It's easy to fall in love with Mexico City, I must say.
It
It's
is.
really nice. I'm glad you enjoyed the experience.
It was great. I mean, I personally, I mean, I think Chantel feels this way, but I definitely want to visit again. I think all of our friends want to come and visit again, so we'll let you know when we're there.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now I'm over here on the other side of the world, but whenever I'm there in Mexico, you'll have some a friend to visit for sure.
Oh, thank you. So you know, being on the other side of the world, what's something you miss about home? If you were to go back and visit, because I know you're in Australia right now, what would be the first thing that you would want to do?
Well, there's plenty of things I miss. Of course, you know, number one is family, friends. Well, I guess that's normal, but like talking more about like in terms of like the city itself, I would say the first thing I would do, like stepping my foot out of the plane, it's going for tacos. Going for tacos is like the first thing. I mean, I miss food. Food is quite different here, as you can imagine. We have a lot of variety, but authentic Mexican food it's uncomparable. It's really nice. And I also kind of miss like the historic yeah, the historic center itself. Just like walking around there, it's like really special, really special.
What's the first place you would go to get that food?
Mm, okay, that's a good question. I have my favorite taco place. It's in the historic center. It's called Taqueria Arandas. It's yeah, it's one of the thousand taco places that are in Mexico City. But that one for me is like really special. I mean, I just really like the flavor. It's really nice.
Oh, I love that. I also love tacos, but would you say that tacos are the most true to Mexico City? Like, what food would you say is the most true to Mexico City itself?
Mexican cuisine or Mexican gastronomy is really wide. We have like a wide variety of different um, plates, but specifically talking about Mexico City, I would say tacos al pastor. Pastor tacos are really good, but we have like many things. We have pozole, we have tamales, we have chilaquiles, we have plenty of stuff. But I would say maybe tacos al pastor. I just kind of remembered like how it was like giving the tours like through the city. And actually, we every time I did the tours, I went past this taqueria pretty much every tour in the historic center, and they have like right outside the place, they have like this big like trompo, which is like a well where they stack all the meat. They prepare it and it kind of rolls to get cooked, but like pretty much everyone passing through the street can see it. And every time I pass there, like all the tourists that I went with were like really amidst, like it looks really tasty and it looks really nice. And there's just like this um, taquero. That's the person who serves the tacos with a knife and just serving the tacos. Then he pours up some salsa, which you can get like a spicy one or maybe not so spicy, and you add some lime to it, and just eating them right there on the street. It's just like the authentic Mexican taco experience, I would say.
Oh yeah, I even remember when we went out at night, there were some that were open so late and it was just so delicious after a night out.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like the what you do after leaving the party, with your friends. You're maybe like a little bit drunk, and you go like straight to the taco place to eat something because sometimes you're hungry. So that's like a tradition, I would say.
Yeah, speaking of, what is the nightlife like there? Like, what are there different types of scenes? What's it all like?
Mexico City, it has like a lot to offer in terms of nightlife. Even me, that I lived there for a while, basically my whole life. I was surprised of the things and the places that I discovered pretty much every night. Like there's something for everyone. Like if you like pop, there are pop clubs. If you like reggae, there are reggae clubs. Of course, I mean personally, I like electronic music, techno and house, and there's like a big scene there. It's growing, and it has like its own like its own sound from Mexico and Mexico City specifically. It's really nice, but we also have like maybe if you like live music, if you like jazz, there's a place for everything. So it's really nice. It's really nice. You have a lot of options. You just have to do some research, maybe on Locals Inside app. That would be a good option. But yeah, you just do some research and you'll find something that you like for sure.
Oh, that's fun. Do you have any places that you always love going to?
Yes, yeah. I mean, me specifically, I like certain kind of events and parties that are like not so much like a club, but they're like they change like the venues every once in a while. It's mainly like house and techno music. But there are a couple of places, for example, Bar Oriente. It's like one of the options that we have there. Funk Club. It's also like in terms of techno and house music, it's a good option as well. Um, I would say Pulqueria Insurgentes is like more wide in terms of musical offer. They have like live bands sometimes, they have DJs, and you can try pulque there, which is a traditional beverage. You can try mezcal, you can try tequila. And it's like a fun place to go party. And it's like really centric. So you can go there. It's really nice. But as I said, there are many options. Oh, also Patrick Miller. Patrick Miller. It's like very iconic and traditional for nightlife in Mexico City.
Oh, that's good to know. Now that we kind of have a breakdown of where to go for nightlife, kind of more about the city in general, what neighborhoods do you think are the best for people to go to and hang out in, or what do you think are the most popular?
Mexico City is huge. So we have, I think it's a total. I think it was 21 neighborhoods.
Wow.
But like, oh, yeah, but the most popular ones, of course, are Roma, Condesa, also the historic center, of course. If you go a little bit more down to the south, it's going to be Coyoacan, San Angel. Specifically, these neighborhoods are, as I said, the most popular amongst tourists because basically, like most of the nightlife goes down there, and there's like a lot of restaurants there. There's like a lot of museums, a lot of things to do and see. So yeah, those areas and the areas themselves are like really nice. Something that I was told many times by people is that they are surprised like how green the city itself is. Like it has like many trees. So yeah, I guess it's something like it's something that people like, of course. Also, for example, Chapultepec, which is where we have like this really big park with a big castle inside of the park. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's super cool. I guess if you ever have like friends come and visit, where would you take them around the city if they weren't from it?
It's hard because yeah, usually a lot of people that comes to visit, they usually they take like maybe a week, which is I would say not enough all the times. But yeah, if I would have to choose like three places to take my friends, I would go to, of course, the historic center. Just walking around the historic center, showing around. There we have many museums. Templo Mayor, which is this ruins that I told you about from the Aztec Empire. We have the Fine Arts Palace. We have Torre Latino, which is like very iconic as well from Mexico City. I would take them probably to Teotihuacan, which are the pyramids that are like a little bit more far outside the city. It's also like a really iconic place from the Valley of Mexico. And it's also, of course, related to the culture and yeah, well, basically the culture that we have in the country. And the third place, it's personally one that I really like. It's Xochimilco, Trajineras. I don't know if you heard of that when you were there. It's this place at the south with the boats. It's really fun. Um, there are like two options to do it, like going for the long trip and going into the natural reserve, which is beautiful. It's really nice. It's a whole different vibe from like the regular trail, which is like more party, a lot of sound, a lot of mariachis, a lot of food. That's also really fun. But yeah, you have like these two options. So that's definitely something that I would say it's a must.
Yeah, we went to Ojimilco and we loved it. I think it was one of the most unique experiences like I've ever done, and definitely one of the most memorable. It was beautiful and so much fun.
Yeah, it's magical. It's magical, and also with the mariachis playing like live music, like in boats, like they just come close to you and they start like playing some traditional music. I think it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. In Mexico City, how do people get around? Is there public transportation or?
Yeah, yeah. I would say public transportation inside the city, it's good. Um, don't be surprised because it's well, if it's really packed. I mean, sometimes people from other countries are not really used to public transport, like being so packed of people. So yeah, just well, we have the metro system, which is really well connected. I would say if you ever feel lost in Mexico City, just find the closest metro station, and once you're there, you can move everywhere. Like it can save you, so it's something to consider when you're there. Um, Metro system is really well connected to pretty much every part of the city. It's just 5 pesos, which is like a quarter of an American dollar, which is really, really affordable. Also, we have the Metro bus, which is also like really well connected. It sometimes relies a little bit on the traffic, but it's also like a really good way to move around. And last, I would say it's the Ecobici, which is the bike public transport. This is mainly like for the touristic and central areas, but that's also an option, like an affordable option to move around, and like if you don't want to use a transport and you don't want to get stuck in traffic with Uber or something, it's a good way to bike around the city.
Oh, okay, that's really good to know. What about Uber and Lyft? Is that popular? Do locals use it?
Yes, yes, it is. I mean, I guess it also depends on where you're going. Like, also, I use Uber when I'm going like kind of far or when I'm in a rush, which can at the end like be not such a good idea because traffic is terrible. So it's something that you must take into account. Traffic usually it's very very bad. Personally, I prefer, if I have the time, I prefer using the metro system or Metrobus. But yeah, Uber it's also an option.
Yeah, that's another thing I didn't realize before going there. I think we didn't realize how bad the traffic would be because, I mean, we've been to like India and all of these other places that have supposedly the worst traffic, but I think I've never seen worse traffic than in Mexico City in my life.
Okay, yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. Like personally, me driving in Mexico City, no, no, I don't like it. That's why I just prefer to move around. Like, yeah, if you're going like kind of close, bike is the best option. Yeah.
Well, Danielle, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us today. I'm sure everyone watching really appreciates all of your local tips and tricks and all of the new experiences that they're going to have when they visit Mexico City. We wish you the best in your endeavors, and we're so excited, and hopefully we get to see you in person soon. But either way, thank you for being on the Local Rundown.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate you considering me for this interview. It's really special for me.
We hope you enjoyed learning all about Mexico City from Danielle. He's posted all of his recommendations in our app called Locals Insight, available on iOS now.
If you want more information, we actually have a bunch of blogs and a podcast all on our website called localsinsight.com. For more up-to-date and fun information, we have an Instagram and a TikTok at Locals Insight app. We're so excited to give you more content, so let us know what city you want to know about next.